FlossTube. My name's Geraldine, and it is November 1st, 2022, and I have decided to try out this whole FlossTube business. So bear with me as it's my first time. I feel like I've learned, a little bit watching all the FlossTubers that I've watched, but definitely will have a big learning curve. So I'm just excited to be here and to join this community of stitchers. So I made myself a few notes. So a little bit about me. I have always been crafty. I've learned to love crafting from my mom and my grandmothers. I learned to cross stitch when I was in elementary school. My mom was working on a really big piece that a close friend had made for a pattern for her to stitch of the homestead that she grew up on. And so when she was working on that, she taught me how to cross stitch. I through most of high school and college and my young adult life, I was more into sewing and quilting probably more than anything. I did teach myself to knit, and so I do dabble in knitting a little bit, quilting, but over the last year I've really gotten into cross stitch, and it was actually my daughter ordering a diamond painting that kind of got me interested into diamond painting, and then that sent me down like the cross stitch bunny trail. And the cross stitch that I had learned about when I was younger with kits and just plain white Aida and those types of things is not the cross stitch world that I found when I learned more about diamond painting. That kind of led me into cross stitch. So here I am a year later, doing all the things, loving all the things, buying all of the stash. I'll have a ton of haul for you today as well. So yeah, that's me. I am Jer X Stitches on Instagram, so it's GER_GER X Stitches. Jer is short for my name, Geraldine, and Jer is like a term of endearment that my close friends call me Jer. So I thought that would be a fitting name. So follow me on Instagram. Okay. So my first finish that I want to share is Bury Me by Lindy Stitches. I believe she released this sometime early, this like late summer, fall, September time. I saw it and I immediately ordered the kit. So it came to me fully kitted with the exception of the DMC that was called for. So the 4 silks and this beautiful, I think it's like a Fabrics by Stephanie, I think it's called Butter Rub, maybe, something like that. And then the 4 silks, which is this black color, the variegated tan, the turquoise, and the like rusty red color are all the silks, and the rest is DMC. The only thing I changed is the skin tone for her face was meant to be the color in her linen fabric as well. So I just adjusted that a little bit, and this is what I've got. So I'm excited. I think I want to frame it, but it's a little bit of an odd size, so I still have to figure all of that out, new to all of that part. So that is my first piece. I finished that, I think it was October 8th. My next finish, I feel like this is a little bit misleading because I don't have a ton of finishes. I tend to be drawn to pretty big pieces, and so I feel a little silly being like, I have 3 finishes, and then you like, who knows when you'll see another finish. So this project I started, I believe, on Christmas Day 21. Trying to figure out how to show it because it doesn't quite fit on my board. This is 'Tis the Season by Blackbird. It is on, I have no idea because I didn't pay attention to that stuff in the beginning. So it's on a linen. I think it's a 32 count because I was scared of higher counts at that point. And I didn't have Aldani's, so I did go to my local L&S and try to do the best that I could with kitting up colors. I learned a ton on this project, being really new to cross stitch, probably only a month or 2 months in, and kitting up my own piece. I ran out of this cranberry color for the bird and the berries, and so this summer, it was early fall when I was trying to finish it, cranberry was out everywhere, and so it took me maybe a month or two to be able to get my hands on some cranberry floss, which I did, and I was able to get it done. And so yeah, it's a little bit of a modification. I didn't love the words. I think they come charted in both French and English. And I just wasn't a fan. I just thought maybe it would stand, it's still pretty Christmassy, but would stand alone a little bit more without the words and not have to necessarily be like Christmas only. So here's a close-up of the bird, and that was really the piece that I was really drawn to. So that is that finish. And I finished that maybe a week and a half or so ago. And then my last finish was almost a fully finished today, and then I realized that I didn't have any like craft glue, and I didn't want to use hot glue. I just felt like it would be too thick to finish the ornament. So it is my very first Mill Hill. So here is Ceramic Tree. And like I said, that was a Mill Hill kit. I started that this month. I'd have to look back and see if I wrote down when I started it or put on Instagram when I started it. But yeah, I finished it. I actually was worried that I wouldn't love the beading, and it was fun. I enjoyed the beading, actually. It's a little bit slower than I thought, but it was good. I did struggle a little bit. I haven't done a ton of full coverage, so I struggle in going from mostly linen and even weave to the counting on the perforated paper was a little bit of an adjustment for me, but I figured it out. I just got really short on a few pieces of floss just trying to, I had to rip a little bit out at the beginning and start over because I just got so lost. So third time was a charm when I got moving on it. And yeah, so I have the felt all cut out and ready to go. And then I plan to write on the back as well. So Amazon will bring me some Eileen's glue tomorrow, and I will be able to hopefully fully finish that and have that for my next time. All right. So those are all of my finishes. I have a ton of whips. I mean, at some point I imagine I'll do a whip parade, but I didn't feel like, that just felt like too much to bite off for the very first time, and like, why would you invest all this time seeing all the things that I've half stitched? Maybe just get to know me and kind of see what my like most recent projects, what I've been touching in the last couple weeks. So let's see. Now I'm spacing on kind of what I have in my bags over here. So this project, I'll show you the really horrible copy paper of it, is Nevermore by Leela's Studio. I saw Caroline from Overtotes stitching this last winter, fall. I saw it last winter whenever she started it last year, with a Leo and Roxy conversion, and like I fell in love with the colors. To be honest, I don't know, the colors, and like it just made a difference for me. And I grew up in Virginia until I was in 6th grade, and so Edgar Allan Poe and Nevermore, I can remember traveling through the Dismal Swamp in the fall, and my brother was reading Edgar Allan Poe for school, and so he was reading it out loud in the car, and it just, so Poe has a special place in my heart, and I just loved this piece. So I've been slowly plugging away on it, again using a modified version of Caroline's conversion, right? So just kind of making it my own, but really using her conversion as inspiration. Sorry, I didn't iron or anything, and I like to stitch. I stitch in hand, if you haven't noticed, so that is why things are a little bit wrinkly and rolled and all those things. So this is Nevermore. I also I love using variegated floss and then not having to change colors quite so much, and so this bird has been really fun. I got his outline done, and like his tail and his feet, where there was a lot of like counting that I had to pay attention to. And then I decided, so that I could just fill him in. And then what I decided to do with the variegation is I made this diagonal, and then I went up and down this diagonal to kind of make it look like his feathers are like laying, it's, I'm sure, hard to see on video, so that his feathers are laying like the way a bird's wings would lay. And then I plan on going across for his body and his head. So just to give him a little bit of dimension, since he is all that solid color, but it is variegated, I didn't necessarily want like the lines all the way across. So I'm almost done with the borders at the bottom. I've got just to fill in this red. I really love working on pieces that I can kind of get the pattern or refer back to the one before to kind of try and help march it out, so I don't have to reference like the physical pattern as much. So I think that mindfulness of it I really enjoy. So my colors, well, let's see, Vampish is this dark color, so here and here, and then the outline of the triangles, and then the words will be in Vampish as well. This is Morticia, which I really love the variegation in that, and I know Caroline switched this up in her most recent conversion, but I still love the Morticia, so I couldn't not have Morticia in there. So this is, I'm gonna have to look at the red color. Vixen is the red, again Vampish, and I thought like calling out these little bird bat things was fun in the Vampish. And then I'm going to kind of do an alternate with the same color as the leaves in here for the triangles. This is Morticia again with a little bit of plum shadow in the middle. I think there's like a bigger band here that I want to do with the Vixen, and then kind of just go from there. So this is what I have so far. I'm really enjoying this. I love that, like if I need a mindless stitch or something where I don't necessarily can't pay attention to the pattern, I can just, you know, fill in there. I do have to start, there are some spots that are like little stitches are missing on as a part of the pattern, and so I'll have to pay a little bit more attention there. But that is my Nevermore conversion. I think that I'll have to look to tell you what my fabric is. So I am using Picture This Plus in French linen. I just made myself these little like project tracker cards, and trying to be better about keeping everything together so I can remember like what everything is. I also made this like little tracker guy on the back, so I can X out like which days I've stitched on it that year. Have I done that for any of my pieces? Nope, I haven't filled them out, but you know, someday if I ever am so inclined, I can try and remember to do that. So this bag isn't anything super fancy. It's actually a Forbidden fiber bag that I got from one of the boxes. I love these bags, and I made myself a little zipper pull that has like a picture of, that's why that paper is cut that I have the pattern picture on, because I used some of it to make that little scissor pull. One of the other things you'll see a different one in my haul this week is I've been loving these. This one is a Ruby Star tin, and this one has like a cute little teacup and a tea bag. And so what I've been doing is I can put needle minders in here, and they just stick right in and they kind of hold things. I can get my needles in there. Got these cute little mini stork scissors from Black Needle Society. I might have bought myself another pair today when they were in the vault when I went to look at other stuff. So I got another pair of those coming, and then a place for my orts. So if I'm on the go, I have a place to throw my orts that isn't just like in the bag with everything else. I use paper patterns or I use Pattern Keeper. It kind of depends on my mood, and I actually sometimes switch back and forth with the same project. So I tend to, if I can, buy the PDF so that I can load it into Pattern Keeper or print a working copy that I can mark off. And if I buy paper, I usually photocopy a working copy so I can keep the pattern clean, and then if I mess up, I can make another copy to mark it off again. So that's Nevermore. I've been working on that quite a bit, but I have a feeling it will go away because of all of the Christmas stitching that I want to do. I grabbed the wrong bag here. Okay, so my next whip, does those look familiar? Evertotes. Scissors bag. I love these Evertote bags. I just noticed that I lost my little zipper pull. I'll have to see if I can find that. Hopefully the dog didn't get at it. And so this project, let me see, I don't remember. I think I do have a picture. Oh, actually I do remember. My zipper pull was another of those little medallions with a picture, with a little like motif from the pattern. So this is Christmas Garden by Blackbird. This is in their Home for the Holidays book, the same as the one that 'Tis the Season was in, and I didn't even realize it, and I saw it on Caroline Evertote again. her wall, and I was like, I have to do that. Elizabeth Can Stitch also just finished this one. I think she used the call for. And of course, you'll be hearing all of these people a lot from me, but I modified it to Leo and Roxy colors. So here are my Leo and Roxy floss colors. I've Mulberry. I'm gonna have to get the cards. I don't remember. Mulberry. This gold color is Brazen, and so Brazen is from a floss club. I don't think that that one's available right now. I haven't checked specifically for it lately, but likely it's not available. Algae is the green. It's this really pretty, like variegated, like foresty green. I really love like saturated colors. And then Chocolate Ganache for the brown. So I love that this pattern only has those 4 colors. I have a small start on this, but I love it. So here is how far I am. Again, I just like to kind of have a, if I can, if it makes sense for the pattern, I often will pull a length of floss and then kind of move around. So that's why things are, motifs are like half done or not filled in, because, you know, I finished like some red and then I like pop over and do a couple of these, or I finished the green. I think I did, like I finished the green the last time I worked on it, and then I went down and did a couple more on the border, because like, why would you take your floss off the needle if you could just keep using that color? So that's kind of how my brain works when I stitch sometimes. And I am stitching this on my very first Fox and Rabbit fabric. It's Eureka, and it's a 40 count linen. For me right now, 40 count has really been my sweet spot. So, and I started this October 8th. So this one will hopefully continue to get some love this holiday season and attention. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, I think those are all the whips that I wanted to show that weren't also new starts. So a part of the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I don't know, it's a big week for me, turning 40, and so I just have a lot going on, and like I just felt like if I wasn't going to do it, like if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it, kind of thing. Like, so I decided I wanted to start 4 starts, 1 for each decade. And I did get a head start on it. My birthday is on Thursday, and so I wanted to make sure that I had time to get all of them kind of going. And so that's what you'll see here. The first one that I started and I'm working on is Pumpkin Trio by Mill Hill. So I loved that Christmas tree Mill Hill so much that I went and had to do another one. Start another one right away. So I had this one like waiting in my stash. So this is Pumpkin Trio, and this is, I'm pretty sure, ready to be beaded. So I started this on Saturday night, worked on it Saturday, Sunday, and I think Monday evenings. I didn't have a ton of time this weekend to stitch. So I decided to, get it this far, and then I'm going to wait until this weekend to beat it, so that I didn't want to finish it before my birthday, but I wanted to get a good start on it. So I'm hoping this one will be, is close to being done. And then this needle minder is from my Harry Potter, Frogwarts box that I participated from the Black Needle Society this summer. So that's my little personalized Marauders map icon for when I'm walking around the castle. So that's super fun, and I wanted something kind of lightweight that I could plop my needle on easily, so that I could stitch that in hand. So this is, well, my price sticker is like right over the picture in the bag, so this is what that will look like when it's done. Super fun. I'll probably end up just finishing it the same with felt on the back, and then I don't really do like different, we have a very set, like, sort of like fancy tree, right? Like Christmas tree. So all these Mill Hill kits, I think I'm probably going to put a magnet on the back and then use them like on the side of my fridge at work or something like that, just because they probably won't end up on our tree because that has to like be all matchy and fancy. So that's just what we do. All right, my second new start, which is also a whip. I started last night. This I have kitted since like the spring, late winter, and I've just wanted to start it, and you know, all the things came, and I was like, well, I'll just save it for Black Sampler November. And so it's finally here. I'm excited to start it. I love Jane Eyre. I love the story, all the different, you know, movie versions. I love it. So Modern Folk Embroidery. I am no bird. Seen this. Lots of people are stitching it. I have my Leo and Roxy. This is charcoal. I got it as a like floss and chart set. I have like a super awesome start. Ready? Boom! Just a little bit of the border all I was able to get in. I had like in my head that I was gonna like sit out in my garage while we had trick-or-treaters coming last night, and the garage lights were gonna be perfect for stitching this. Not so much. So this is just what I was able to get done once all of the fun festivities were over. And this is a solid border. But like every 9 stitches I leave one blank, and then I'll go back and fill those in. It helps me with counting, especially in this 40 count. So I am using 40 count Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit with this charcoal. I wanted like a yellowy antique-y, like something that would be in Thornfield Hall, like that. It needed to be that feel. To be deserving of that piece, in my opinion. So another Evertotes bag, super cute. I love this one. It's like the little like bobbins, sewing thread bobbins. So these bags are great. I love the size, because I stitch in hand. I don't need like a super huge bag. So I love those. Okay. So my last 2 I haven't started. So we've kind of like moved on to like new starts or new plans, however we categorize that. I don't know. Another pattern I've had probably since last winter, maybe this spring, is this Christmas Eve by Cotter's Garden Samplings. I just love these colors. So had this for a while. I kitted it up like last month, and I had to make some modifications because I was really drawn to this piece for the colors because of this tealy green color and this like fuchsia-y red. That is what drew me to them. And then I kitted them. So the Rose Garden is the called for, which I kept. But then I think I have it in here somewhere. Did I take it out? Bayberry is, I don't know how all these colors are gonna show. Like Bayberry is the other called for. And if you look, like, that's not the same color. So I don't know if like the dye lot changed or if it's just like the way the photo was taken, like the coloring in the photo. So I'm still playing around with what color I want to use. So I'm thinking maybe like this green color. So I don't know like a good way to show you like on this card. So these are all the called for DMC, and then these 2 should be over dyed. This is just a DMC that I picked. Actually, I think it's an anchor that I picked. So I'd have to look at the bobbin to tell you which one that one is. So I'm thinking about this one. To be honest, I was hoping maybe there would be a teal in one of the Evertotes floss kits this month. There was. I have to decide if I want to use it. This is a Black Needle Society floss card that we got in our just cross stitching box from That's So Kelly. And so I'm giving this a try. I finally had, I think there were like these 3 holes I added on the end because I didn't quite have enough and felt like there was room there. So, but this will be fun to try out. And then it's got like a thread bed here to hold your extras or your orts. So I'm giving that a try. I don't know if like things that we make ourselves, is it haul? Is it a finish? Because I made myself a bag. I love making bags. This one is super fun. I found this fabric shopping with my mom at a quilt store this weekend. We did quite a bit of damage, but it was super fun going out with her. And I tried a little bit of a new method. So I'm gonna, I didn't show you my fabric. I'll do that. So I'm gonna pull everything out and kind of show you would have done. So, okay, sorry about that. Fabric is Be Stitch Me. Did I write it on my card? I did. Good for me. My card. Morning Fog is the color. So, let's see. Some creative. Not great. I'll get better at this. I'm not super organized. So, that is what that will look like. Okay, back to this bag. So, I was gifted my mom's serger when she got a fancier serger. I remember being like in 3rd or 4th grade, and my mom like wanted the serger so bad, and she finally got it, and she made me a pair of like totally 90s knit like tight shorts with like the lace on the cuffs at the bottom. Like, are you guys feeling me from the 90s? You remember those? Awful, awful, awful. But it's mine now, and I use it for all sorts of things. I love using it to like do the edges of my fabric. So I tried a new method for making. I've been making bags, my own bags, off and on since I started cross stitching. I like the challenge of figuring these things out. So, inspired by Caroline's design, so not fusible, just regular batting. This fabric is super soft. I have like this fun star fabric in the middle, but instead of like doing the inside out, like sew it a million times method, I serged all of my pieces. Like, so I had the squares, the 2 square sandwiches, and I serged around all the edges. Then I sewed the zipper on, and then I sewed the bag with like right sides together. And so I just have like these finished edges on the inside. It works super well. The squares need to be cut a little bit bigger because my seam allowance, I'm a quilter, right? So I'm used to 1/4 inch, and so that's what I account for when I make things most of the time. And so I know that next time I need to make the bag just a little bit bigger to account for like that serge edge is a little bit longer, but I'm kind of loving it, and it came together so much faster than the other way, and I didn't have to do that like funky like sew the hole at the bottom thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to try a few more like this and give them a try. Like I said, they make it a lot easier to throw them together. My zippers, I just bought like a giant zipper kit on Amazon. I have like a little accessory bag to go with it. I did learn that if you don't top stitch like far enough down, I did get like a little bit of extra zipper. So I'll do that better next time. But overall, like I'm pretty happy with this like kind of beta version of this. This fabric is just gorgeous. I love it. I could just like pet it. So yeah, and I am also, I found like another scissor case. This one's paper and cloth. I got at a quilt store this weekend. Similar idea, right? So my needle minder, my scissors and stuff in there. So this one is ready to go. Maybe tomorrow I'll start it. We'll see how things go. But that is that. Okay, get that all in a pile and put it back together here. Alright, and then number 4, I kind of wanted like, so Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve? Yes, is relatively small, but it's pretty dense, right? Like the stitching is pretty dense, and so I'm a little bit nervous it's bigger, like it's more than I think it is. So I kind of wanted like a hodgepodge, right? So I've got like I Am No Bird, that's going to take me some time, my Mill Hill, hopefully should get it finished this month. Christmas Eve, who knows? So I picked something that I found at a needlework store I went to in September. And it was something I had never seen before. It's a Lizzie Kate. It came with like this little needle minder guy, and then it came with everything. So it came with the linen. Well, not everything. It didn't come with a flask, but it came with the linen, and it came all the things to finish it. So there's like rickrack and like beads and like some twine in there. And then this was the package that the needle minder came in. So I kitted it with the, excuse me, the called for DMC. These are the colors. So like a couple different colors of reds and greens, like looks like 3 of each, and then some browns and black to go with it. And then this will be, what is the, I don't even know what it was kitted with. I should look closer at the pattern. And I don't think I filled out this card yet. but it's this like pretty thick raw linen crunchy stuff. I think I'll have to use, it's big enough you have to use 2 strands, but it's not a super huge piece, so I can live with that. So that is my 4th project, and that should be hopefully, you know, I wanted a few things that I could, excuse me, finish in time to have out for this holiday. Another thing that I wanted to show and share is a bag that I made in preparation for my Leo and Roxy Evertotes Modern Folk Embroidery Advent box that I received last week or the week before. That we start December 1, and so it's a stitch along, and there's like envelopes that you open every day that will have your floss color for that day, and your little tiny piece of the pattern to stitch. And so I was thinking about that project and like how to kit it, how it would grow over time as the month went on, and I wanted to do something super fun. And I saw this fabric and I like had to have it. So I found this top piece at my local fabric store. And like, so it's like a fabric chain that's like, I think specific to Michigan, maybe even just specific to my side of the state. In West Michigan, I'm not sure, but the lady at the store said they like will buy a whole collection and then they'll like put 1 or 2 in each store. So like, I was like, oh, well, I mean, I could drive all around town trying to find them, or I could go online and find them. So I ended up going to Fat Quarter Shop to get the accent fabric. So I got this medallion fabric, like the white holly for the inside. This is like the normal like bag pattern where you like sew it inside out and turn it all around and all those things, and then sew the bottom closed. But then what I wanted to do is I found like the panel that's like an actual, it looks like a cross stitch sampler. And I knew that the cards would be coming, you know, one at a time. And like, instead of putting them in a ring, I thought it would be really fun to make this so that like as each card gets opened, I can like each stick it in its own little pocket. And then I had a little extra. I didn't need to have 2 full sheets of the pockets, and so I made myself this little like accessory pouch on the inside to put in like the scissors and I always have a seam ripper in each of my kits. So yeah, I thought that was pretty fun, and so I thought I'd share that with you. I learned a ton. This is the first time that I used the pattern to make this. I learned a ton. I think there's some things I do differently next time. I don't love using binding. I'm a quilter, go figure, but like you can't hand stitch the vinyl very easily, and so I tried to do it with my sewing machine with mixed reviews, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm super excited to use this starting in December. So that's kind of sitting ready to go. All right, this is like way longer than I even thought it was going to be. So I'm going to try to get through my haul, which I have a lot. So the first haul is, this is kind of silly. So I just bought and received and then got bound the Book of Days 2022. Okay, here's the method to my madness. I got the 2023 version. I'm just grabbing it here from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and I opted for the version where she offered to like bind it and add the extra pages in the back for you. And then I was waiting for it, and I was like, so what about this year? Like, I don't really have anything. I like tried digital planner for my cross stitch stuff. It didn't work for me. Wasn't super good about using it. So I wanted to kind of have, if I do this and I can catch, like, I started cross stitching in November of 21. So I figure if I can catch 21 and like kind of get some kind of working, at least in the back, have some whips going, like what my finishes were in 2022, like I'll feel kind of like caught up to like start cataloging everything. So I took it to Staples. I took a couple like free files with me for them to print off. So like this like grid in case I want to do tables, like to track things I thought, or then just line pages. And so I had that added. Excuse me. And I had them print like a couple extra of these because I wasn't sure what was going to come from Colorado Cross Stitcher. And I know like I knew from other like back when I used to have like a bound planner and would modify it. Like these coils actually come out pretty easy, so you can like uncoil and like recoil and then back up once you like organize the pages how you want it. So I had them make a couple pages in case I needed more for my new planner. And so then I got the 2023, super excited for, and then it came from Colorado Cross Stitcher with some of these cardstock pages, which I think will be really great. It's they're thicker pages for like putting pictures of my finishes. I have asked for a little mini photo printer for my birthday because, you know, I'm 40 going on 14. So those will be good for like having, you know, more bulky things on. And then I put the extra pages in already. I just unbound it and decided to go for it. So I've got my line pages and quite a few of them, and then my gridded pages, which I like. It actually fits the bind of the coil really well, so it doesn't quite feel like the coil is a ton bigger than the book. So I like, I just noticed that I missed a page. Oh, I'll have to fix that. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, so that is my 2023 book of days. Thank you, Colorado Cross Stitcher. I'm super excited. Thought about the Black Needle Society one. I felt like this was just a little bit more simple. I think part of my problem with the digital planner is there were like 5 million places to write the same thing, right? Like my new start, the list of like it in the month that it belonged in, and it was just too much. So I'm hoping that this will be a little bit simpler for me, and I can just in the back keep a very simple catalog of things and maybe a couple extra pictures from retreats and those kinds of things. So book of days. This counts as stash in my book, at least. So again, this is fabric that I haven't gotten to for a bag yet, but I fell in love with it. And I actually wanted to use it for my pumpkin trio. Isn't it adorable? Excuse me. So this will be a project bag soon. I'm hoping that I will, you know, make it like the one that I just showed you that I serged the edges for. But I saw this fabric and I just had to have it. And I love this like lighter one. I can't decide if it belongs on the inside of the bag or if it deserves its own, and I need to find something for the lining. So we'll see. I have a half yard of each. I could almost make 2 bags with them, plus the little like small notions bags. So I have plenty of fabric. I just, you know, hoard it. Okay, I'm trying to organize so I can put the spoilers at the end. So out and about at the, oh my goodness, I just threw that at you. I'm sorry. Out and about at the quilt store. Another Ruby Star Society box. Just another little tin just to add to my collection. Okay, so like I'm the person who I see a thing and then I love it and then like I have to have it because like I have FOMO. So I love gnomes. I loved them before they were cool. And then they became cool, and now there's a bunch of cross-stitch kits with gnomes in them. And so Mill Hill had their gnomes this Christmas, their Jim Shore gnomes. Could I pick one? No. Like, I have to have all 5, because, like, what if someday I want to do the rest of them and I don't have them? Like, because they're sold out. So, of course, I ordered them from 123 Stitch. I think I ordered them, like, back mid-September. And then they didn't come, and they didn't come. I think they must have had trouble getting them in. Sorry. So here they are. So this is the gnome with a wreath, gnome holding gifts. These are a little bit more intricate than I expected, but they'll be fun. Gnome with an ornament, gnome with a tree, and gnome holding holly. I can't decide which one's my favorite, which is why I have them all. So who knows which one I'll pick first, but I have a feeling this will be my next Mill Hill that I'll get going once I finish the pumpkin trio. And then I thought, you know, maybe it'll be handy to have some extra perforated paper. So here's some perforated paper in case I need it. I have a local needlework shop that's also a knitting shop, Country Needleworks. They're great. I love them. They're a knitting shop with some cross stitch. So I try to take advantage of some of the online stuff when I can, just because they're good for a pinch, but it does seem like they're working on, you know, growing their stash, but there's just more out there than what they could possibly carry. So Okay. On Amazon, I was able to find, it came like with my name on it, but like it's an Amazon purchase, like go figure. I don't know. I think it is Benzie Design is the company. But it is like this green, like a Christmas essentially set of felt, because I knew I needed felt to finish all of my things now. So wool felt for finishing, all different colors. That will last me like forever, right? And then I have a couple spoilers, so if you don't want to see them, look away. I'll tell you when I'm going to show them. So my first spoiler is I am in the Be Stitch Me Neutral Fabric of the Month Club. I get 40 count because, you know, I just said like that's my thing, right? It's my jam right now. If I can stitch with one thread, then I don't have to worry about how the threads lay as much. So I'm loving the size of 40 count. So I'm going to show it now. I won't, you can read the name. I won't say it out loud, but it's really pretty. Lots of modeling. You can see it. So this will go in my stash. And then I also, of course, belong. Caroline like has taken so much of my money this year, and I'm here for it. So I am in the Leo and Roxy Evertote Floss Club, and like, how could you pick brights or neutrals? And it's actually worked out really well that I've picked both. So I have both of those that I will show now. If you don't want to see them, look away. So here's the brights. They're super fun. I have one set from October or September. Like I haven't even taken out of, these I'll take out of the bag and put on a ring. You can see them like over here. But like I haven't taken them out of the bag because like they all match really well, but those specific ones match so well. Like they are dying to be stitched together. So I'm saving them to keep them all together. So this was the teal that I was thinking of. It might be a little too like teal and not enough green. So I have to decide on that, but that is a potential for that Christmas Eve piece. Okay, and then I'm going to show the neutrals now. And these are the neutrals. So just a really great variety of neutrals that I'm sure I've been, I have quite a few whips that I've kitted just with, or even just stash that I've kitted with the Leo and Roxy like Club of the Month. So it's a really great way to kind of build your stash, and I just need like a blue or I need a cream color or whatever, and they're really great. So I think that's everything. What did I forget? So thanks so much for coming along on this ride with me. Yeah, it was really fun kind of sharing what I've been working on. I am planning to drive. I live in Western Michigan, so it's not like crazy super far away, and it's my 40th birthday, so I'm going to play that trump card like as long as I want. So Friday I am going to drive to London to go to the Evertotes open house. Caroline's having her first open house. She claims that there will be lots of linen and lots of floss, and the Park Hopper Bart, oh my gosh, I can't, Park Hopper Bart Christmas collaboration will be available in person. So I'm super excited to go there, see the workshop, meet Caroline, maybe meet Ellen. I don't know if Rai is going. Like all of my FlossTube idols, like I'm gonna be that girl in the corner like, hi, you're really cool and I'm not, but like, can we be friends? So yeah, I'm super excited. So I don't know if I'll blog, take some pictures on Instagram. So maybe pop over to Instagram and follow me so you can kind of see my adventure. I'm going to head over there, hang out, take stitching just in case some stitching is happening. I don't know what's planned. And then come home, depending either early or late. I also have to stop at Costco because we have Costco in West Michigan. We don't have Canadian Costco, and the holidays are coming, and I grew up, my mom is from Canada, and so all of her family is Canadian, and I grew up with tart shells, and Canadian Costco has tart shells frozen, so those are coming home with me, hopefully, as well on that trip on Friday. So those are my plans. Work on birthday starts, hang out at Evertotes, meet some cool people, or stare at them awkwardly from far away and then leave because I'm shy. and then drive home and enjoy the weekend. So I will see you hopefully soon. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.